It's the 20th of March 2011, and I'm just looking at the new supermoon, and it's absolutely beautiful. I've got a perfect view of it, and from my room, and the clouds are illuminated by its light and whizzing past at a speed of knots, and there seems to be a lot of airplanes in the sky tonight, and their sparkling lights just add to the magic. But when I look at it from outside, if I open the window, the colours are amazing in the clouds. They're absolutely, the shapes and stuff are absolutely inspiring, and it looks like a beautiful backdrop of a you know, an early Walt Disney picture or something, like Pinocchio or something. And it makes you realise how small and insignificant you are on this tiny little planet. And apart from this kind of feeling today, I've been feeling very down, to be honest. I've been feeling very disappointed and angry with a lot of different groups of people. Whether the situation's going to get better or worse, I don't know, but there's one thing that I really hope that will happen, and I hope people will learn something from this. It saddens me to see reactions from groups, mixed reactions, people from Japan who are angry at foreign people for leaving Japan suddenly. And that just blows my mind, really, because I myself have been surprised and saddened by friends leaving suddenly, but simultaneously not disgusted by it, and certainly no blame is being dealt to them. And you know, I suppose that people are in a panic and they're not thinking straight, so I hope we can dismiss it as that. But you know, if it was the other way around, and Japanese people who were in the, you know, from, let's say, from the age of 22 to 42, let's say, is the average age of foreigner in Japan. Let's say that makes up the demographic of English teacher. But that doesn't include people, you know, from who are pursuing different careers, or perhaps they're just students studying Japanese, or it could be that they're married or whatever, or perhaps they're divorced, or you know, perhaps they're not as fortunate as we English teachers, and they have to do something less fulfilling, you know. Not that I want to say that, but you know what I mean, don't you? But if it was the other way round, if the shoe was on the other foot, and there was a natural disaster in England, and there was, you can bet your bottom dollar that if the Japanese family members emailed their sons or daughters and said, "Come home," they'd be on the plane before they could reach the bottom of the email. I can guarantee you. Because what the family says is law, and you know, I'd like to reiterate that I've never felt disappointed that anybody's gone home because of this disaster. I've been saddened by it, of course, because you know, they're my friends and I don't want to say goodbye to them. But who can blame them, you know? I mean, we're not to know what's going to happen. I mean, nobody yet knows. We're still in the dark about this, and it could go either way right now. And I pray to God, or whatever is out there, you know, whatever can help us, that it isn't catastrophic, and you know, because I'd like to stay here and make a life here, you know, because I do love Japan, despite what anyone thinks. And even the people that have left in a hurry, they also love Japan, but they also love their families, and they don't want to be separated from them, and they don't have such a commitment as some of us, and they haven't built their lives here for that long, so that's why they've left in a hurry. And it makes me mad that that's been shown in a bad light in the press and on Facebook and things like that, is that people are viewing foreigners leaving in a hurry like we're deserting the team. But what they haven't shown on the news, which is, I watched the TV news this time in depth this morning, and I was brought to tears no less about 4 times, different stories. And what annoyed me, well, obviously I was very saddened, deeply distraught by the images and stories that I hadn't thought of before. Lots of things like, well, I don't even want to mention it because it's too sad. But one of the things, when I started thinking about the people who are showing their anger towards foreigners leaving Japan all of a sudden, like they're rats deserting a sinking ship, is I thought, well, you know what, there's been no coverage of all the foreigners who A, have died in Sendai and have been, or the trouble that there is in Fukushima, which clearly there has been, because there are no less than 19,000 missing or dead in Sendai, and I don't doubt for a second that you know, some of those are probably foreigners. There's no hint of that on the news, and also over 120 countries are volunteering their aid to help Japan at this point. And I'll leave you on that note. Thank you for watching.